Good morning. My name is Manuel Cárdenas, and we are going to present the cultural activity. The activity said place choose two non-Latin cultures and point on. The first, ten similarities, and second, turn a difference. Present your answers in a writing text, and two, share the YouTube link where you explain these topics. In our groups, we choose the two non-Latin cultures, Japan and China. Similarities. 1. According to the location of China and Japan, we all know both of them are Asia. 2. Chinese and Japanese manipulate the chopstick to drink in most of time. They don't need the knife and fork. Third, both Japanese and Chinese language are interesting. These are language of beauty and of many complicated. All Japan borrowed lots of culture from all China. And 5. Japan adopt Chinese characteristics in Japanese writing language.
We are continue with the seven similarity. The number seven is both countries drink a lot of tea in everyday life and they have tea ceremonies. And this make the tea a big deal in both countries. Number eight, they have strong beliefs about gender ideals, like how should a man or woman act and behave, what is accept and not accept. In Japan, woman is expected to stay at home. In China, male should own a house in order to get married. Number nine is both of the care a lot about status. For example, um, Japanese is obsessed with social hierarchy, especially the older generation. In the same way, the Chinese how is from higher status want to be treated better than the rest of the population. Number 10 is a finally but sure history. During the 12 and 16 countries, Japanese imperialism in China during the 1913 and 1914s. Difference. Number one, traditionally the Japanese have a healthy and well balanced diet, and it is usual to have several small portions of food prepared in different ways. Something boiled, something fried, something pickled, something raw, etc. All as part of the sun meal is contrasts the various ethnic groups in China, different widely in their eating habits, like for example, exotic animals like bat soup. Number two, the obvious difference between China and Japan is the social character. In Japan, they practice capitalism. However, China practices socialism. Number three, other area of difference between Japan and China is the religious. Shinto and Buddhism are Japan's two major religions. China is a country with a great diversity of religious beliefs. 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 The main religions are Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Catholicism, and Protestantism. Number four, one could say Japan keep more of the classical Chinese rituals that the Chinese dish, the bowing, the indirect language, and speech.
Hi, my name is Diego Fernando Vargas, and I'm going to speak about the last five differences between China's culture and Japanese culture. Fifth, about the country data, we have the following facts. The size both countries are different. China is 25 times larger than Japan. Sixth, China using a strict character-based system. Foreign students, for example, use Roman characters called pinyin, while Japanese use different characters. For example, hiragana, katakana, and furigama. Seventh, the Japanese in general are very quiet in public. And for example, on public transportation like Transmilenio, Japanese people turn the ringer off on their phones and tend not to carry on conversation. In contrast, the Chinese don't have any cultural prohibition against speaking loudly. 8. Both Chinese and Japanese people tend to bow when greeting people for the first time, bow. Nevertheless, the Japanese are far stricter about bowing, with entire protocols based on the level of seniority and age of the person you are greeting. 9. There are more Japanese surnames than there are Chinese surnames. A Japanese surname might be 2 or 3 syllables long and almost always ends in a vowel. In contrast, a Chinese surname is typically only the one syllable and ends in a consonant. 10. And the last, in Japan, if a person commits suicide by jumping in front of a train, the remaining family is charged reparation. In China, doesn't have these rules at all. Conclusion: China and Japan for around thousands of years share some cultural topics. If people can learn more about the culture between difference, they will get the common heritage of East Asia.